Hey guys, it's Bethany, your crafty BFF, coming on finally with part 2 of the Valentine's Day embellishment book tutorial. In part 1, we built the entire base. We did the binding, the covers, and then we added in our pages and our little pockets and little interactions and whatnot. Um, I think I jinxed myself in my last video because I said I was explaining about my autoimmune disorder and said I'm not sick, and then lo and behold, I got sick. So that's why this video is so late. I apologize about that, but better late than never, right? I think so. So, anyways, we're gonna add our seam binding to our front and back covers. We're gonna add our magnet here for this flip down. I had mentioned previously that if you don't have magnets, you could always add a little Velcro dot after you add your paper. And yeah, but I prefer, I love my magnets. They keep everything nice and tight and flat, but a Velcro dot would work here as well. A little trick that I have learned the hard way is to always write myself little notes at so that I don't forget to add my seam binding and add my magnets. So I always write a little M with a circle where my magnets are going to go, and then just seam binding where my seam binding is going to go. It just serves as a reminder, because there's been many times that I've added my designer paper and then I can't add my seam binding closure. So that's always a pain in the butt. But that's what we're going to do first today. I have my hot glue gun here, and I have my double-sided tape. I have these little scraps of seam binding. Let's see. I never really measure. I just kind of guesstimate, but maybe about 9 inches. 9 inches is what I cut for these. What I'm going to do is just find the center of my book, drag my horribly used glue gun over here. Why aren't you working? Okay, there it comes. I haven't used it in a while. You can tell there's gunk in it. And then I'm just going to lay the seam binding down here and try not to burn myself. And then I'm going to use some double-sided tape just to secure it here in place, like so. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. I kind of just use my first piece to find, where I need to put the second piece on the back. Add my hot glue. Add my little seam binding. Like so. And then, like I said, I like to add a piece of double-sided tape to secure that there. Got glue on my hands already. Okay. Now, I thought I'd add this in because I've done videos where I just told you the measurements and for each page and each pocket and everything, but I wanted to recommend one of these rulers, either this one by Rock Hardware or this one by Victor. Both of these you can buy on Amazon. This one comes, it's like a thicker one, sturdy, and these are flimsy, but you can get both of these on Amazon. This one is like right under $6, and then you can get a 2-pack of this one for right under $10, I believe. So all rulers have the 1/8 measurements, 1/8 and 1/16 measurements on them, but not all rulers have them marked. And so this is my cheat. um, yeah, it's expensive for a ruler, but to have those measurements marked for me, I really love having that. So I thought I'd recommend these rulers that have the 1/16 and 1/8 inch markings on it, because it really helps when you're measuring your pages and trying to figure out exactly um, what your mats need to be. So this cover here, I went ahead and cut my gold foil layers and my designer paper layers. You can, so our cover here, what I did is I made the gold foil 6.5 inches by 8.5 inches. You can see that fits on there, and it gives about an 1/8 of an inch border all around. And that's the other thing, you got to decide if you like a narrow reveal around your paper. I always do 1/8 of an inch for my mats. Some people like to do 1/4 inch for their mats, but I like that thinner reveal of the cardstock, like that, that's just my preference. So if you're following my tutorial, we're doing 1/8 inch reveals for all the mats. Let me find my pokey tool here. I'm going to take off this tape. Ugh. And what I usually do for the, I don't know, every time I buy gold foil, it comes like bent like this. So what I generally do is just glue my designer paper layer onto the gold foil and then put them both onto my book. No, my glue's not going to work. Hold on. See if that helps. There we go. Okay. So like I said, I'll cut my gold foil and then I'll cut my designer paper. I went ahead and stitched around the cover pieces as well. And then I'm just going to line this up to have that 1/8 inch reveal on both sides, maybe. There we go. Like so. And the foil gives you a little more time to play with it as well, to make sure it's center. So there's that one. And we have this one. My stitching is definitely not great on this. Not the best ever, but it'll do. So there's my second one, and now I have to find my spine piece, what I didn't do with it. Very serious right now. Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay, so here it is. I did the same. So the spine measurement is going to be 2 7/8 by 8.5, and then the designer paper is 2 3/4 by 8 3/8. Just adding my glue to lay it down on my foil. Try to line it up there and get the glue smudges off of the foil. I can do that later. Not a big deal. But here, let's go ahead and put this down on our front cover. think it's easier just to get these two lined up and then put them on the covers versus putting the gold foil down and then putting the designer paper down. I think it's, you just got to fiddle with the awkwardness of the book less when you do it this way, if that makes sense. I'm just lining this up to make sure I have the same amount of reveal on all four sides, as close as I can get it anyways. Like so. And then I'll go ahead and do my spine. Maybe. Okay. And my glue. And lay that down as evenly as I can get it. And don't pay attention to those measurements because it's 6.5. You see here the gold foil is 6.5 and the designer paper is 6 3/8. So 6.5 by 8.5 for the gold foil, and then 6 3/8 by 8 3/8 for the designer paper. And that should be for the front and back covers. Oh, I almost forgot to remove my little double-sided sticky tape. And that. And then place this down as evenly as possible. I just kind of put my hand behind to create some pressure when I'm pushing down with my bone folder, like so. And there we have it. There's our covers all done, looking beautiful. Sorry, grabbed a drink real quick. Okay, so now we're going to put our magnets down here on our little flippy flap. I get my magnets from Amazon. They come with 100 pieces and they're 10 by 1 millimeter magnets. What I'll do is put one here on my flap, and I will secure it with a piece of double-sided tape. And then I'm going to add my second magnet right there on top of the double-sided tape. I'm going to get another piece of double-sided tape and put this magnet, making sure I keep it the magnetic side down, right? And I'm going to place the magnetic side down on the double-sided tape and then put it back here like so. And then we're going to close it and press down. I got this glue all over my hands. That's what I get for not ordering a new precision tip, I guess. So once you do that, your second magnet will be on your pocket, and it'll be a nice closure. And like I said, you want to add your magnets before you add your designer paper. And if you're using Velcro dots, you do that after you add your designer paper. Today I am using Simple Stories Happy Hearts, the digital collection. So you'll see that I printed these papers out, And this is what we're going to use to mat our book. So I did go ahead and go through and write down all the measurements for each part of the book that I'm going to mat using my handy dandy ruler. So this first flap is going to be 4 7/8 by 6 3/8. Your bottom pocket is going to be 6 1/4 by 4 1/8. And then here the back side of the pocket, or the back of the cover, and like, you know, in behind the pocket is going to be 6 3/8 by 5. Now I say 5 because generally I only go about an inch down into the pocket, because why waste the paper putting it all the way down in the pocket when you could use that paper somewhere else. That's kind of my thinking. And so that's what I do. I only put the paper down about an inch into the pocket, and so that gives us about 5. Now if you want to, you go right ahead. It would be like 8 1/4 if you want to put it all the way down, but I think it's just wasting paper. So, and then you'll need a 4 7/8 by 6 3/8 for the back side of this pocket as well, to cover your magnet and all that jazz. Okay, I'm gonna put my hot glue gun down here so it doesn't get on anything, and we're gonna start cutting some paper. So I thought I would use this as my flap, like the corner. So I'm going to cut it like this: 6 3/8. By 4 7/8. Like so. Now I had also rounded my corners down here, so I'm going to do the same to my designer paper. And it fits on there perfectly. So we're going to do that. And then I'm thinking for both page 1 and the back of the pocket, I'm going to do this paper here. So I'm going to do 6 3/8. Right? Yep, 6 3/8. By 5. Oh, 6 3/8 isn't going to work. It's not going to fit down in that pocket. Duh, Bethany. Okay, so it's going to have to be 6 1/4. Let's try that. Okay, don't come for me. I gave you the wrong. I was eyeballing it and gave you the wrong measurement. So this needs to be 6 and. Okay, this needs to be 6 1/4 by 5, and that will fit down there in your pocket, like so. And then for the pocket, I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna measure this pocket again, make sure I got it right. Yeah, so 6 1/4. Six and a quarter by 4 1/8. Which is right there. Sorry, I'm just seeing how this looks. And actually, it should probably be more like 6 1/8. My eyes just aren't what they used to be, guys, even with the precision ruler. Okay, so we're changing this one to 6 1/8 by 4 1/8. And then that gives you just a little bit of a reveal around the pocket. Oh, and we got to cut. We still got to cut the back of our pocket here and page 1. So page 1 is going to be 6 1/8 by 7 7/8. 7 7/8. Sorry, my dryer just went off. I'm multitasking today. Okay, so 7 7/8. And then what are we going to do for the inside of the pocket? Maybe we just do the rest of this. That one won't fit. But this one will. Yeah, it'll give me a little bit more of a reveal than I wanted, but it'll work. So this scrap was from the bottom pocket, and it is like 4 3/4. And then we're cut it down to 6 3/8. And again, we're going to round the corners like so. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and start right here. I'm going to take my double-sided sticky tape off, add my glue, and then just line this up. Like I said, it's more of a reveal than I usually like, but saves me from having to print another piece of paper. Use your scraps, right? And it doesn't look bad, so it will work just fine. There's that. And then we're going to take the double-sided tape off of our pocket here. And lay this down. And then for the inside front cover behind the pocket, we have our 6 1/4 by 5" piece. We're going to just slide that first little bit down into the pocket. And then line it up with our right underneath our flap so that it doesn't interfere with the flipping. There's that. And then we have this piece that we cut, the 4 7/8 by 6 3/8. I rounded the corners. You don't have to. It's just my choice of what I like. I like the rounded look for my little flaps. There we go. And then page 1 was our 6 1/8 by 7 7/8 piece. Just going to go ahead and glue that down. Try to make an even reveal all the way around. Like so. And then we can move on to pages 2 and 3. I'm going to take a drink real quick. I get so thirsty talking for these tutorials. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and check my measurements because I don't need anybody coming for me given the wrong measurements. So these pockets are both going to be 3 and 7/8. 3 and 7/8 by 7 and 7/8. Yes. And then for your for the paper behind the pocket, we're going 3.5. 3.5. Like I said, I'd go about an inch into the pocket, and then it should be the same 7 and 7/8. So let's try that. For my pockets, I'm going to use this page. I made sure to print it horizontally so I could get the most use out of it. So let's go 7 and 7/8. By 3 and 7/8. Which I have to guesstimate on with this trimmer, because it cuts off right there. Okay. I'm going to trim this one down just a little bit more. The 3 and 7/8 measurement will work. It's just my trimmer that is so fussy. Okay, that'll work. Okay, and then for the back, I'm going to use this paper here. So again, I'm going to cut it down to 7 and 7/8. And then 3.5. And 3.5. Make sure that fits in there. It does. Okay, so we're going to add our glue to this piece here. I'm going to slide it inside the pocket about an inch or so, and then lay this down like so. I'm going to do the same with this piece. Then we can lay our pockets down. There we go. Don't mind me humming or whistling or whatever it is I'm doing. It's so quiet in the house today. Maddie stayed home from school, but she's being quiet. And there is that pocket. Done. We can go on to pages 4 and 5. On page 4, we have this belly band, and on page 5, it's just a blank page. For these pages, I am going to use these. Thinking I'm going to put the stripe behind the belly band, and the hearts on the belly band, and then the hearts over here too. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So my stripe needs to be okay, so I was telling you how I only go about an inch down into a pocket, and because nobody's going to see that anyways, and it doesn't interfere with anything. However, with a belly band, like, you could put paper, a strip of paper just on this side and a strip just on this side, but when you go to put things in there, photos or stickers or embellishments or whatever you're going to put in there, it will get caught on that paper if you do the 2 strips on the side. So I always recommend to cut for the whole page. So you're going to do 6 1/8 by 7 7/8 to do the whole page under the belly band. That way your things don't get caught when you're sliding them in and out. Trust me, it's not fun to have that happen. By 7 7/8. So you can cheat at pockets, but you can't cheat at belly bands. You see that way when you slide something in there, it'll go in and out smoothly. If you had the 2 strips of paper, there would be bumps and it would get caught, and it's just not fun. So I don't recommend it. Okay, then for the heart paper, we're going to go 7 7/8. Nice. Well, let's do this 6 1/8. Let's do it like this. 6 1/8. For this side, and then we're going to do 3 7/8, which we have to guesstimate at again. And that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to glue my page 5 down here. It's another blank page. Like so. Glue my belly band mat down. And then in order to keep from making a huge mess, what I usually do is just pull this out a little bit and add glue to this side. And then tuck it back in, lay that down, and then add some glue on this side. That paper's not going anywhere. It's glued down just fine like that. So there's pages 4 and 5, easy peasy, right? And then page 6, and then we have our back, inside back cover with the tall pocket. I have, let's see, this paper here. I'm going to go ahead and do 6 1/8. By 7 7/8. Just like that. And then I have this one I'm going to put on my pocket. So this one needs to be 6 3/8. By 6 1/4. That's perfect. And that was my computer. Sorry about that. Telling me I need to restart to install the latest Windows update. Okay, and then for the back of our pocket, I'm going to do 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. The 3 1/2 just to put about an inch down into the pocket. 6 1/4. Okay. I did it again, guys. So this needs to be 6 1/8 to fit in the pocket. So just take an itty bitty 1/8 of an inch off, and then we'll fit down in there just fine. So I'm gonna add my glue. Put that down into my pocket. Line it up the best I can. Add my glue to my pocket mat. And then my page 6 mat. Now, the last part that I'm going to show you in this tutorial is optional. So if you're done and you're happy with your book, then you can stop here. But I like to add I'm going to use this scrap from my cover here, and I'm going to cut my pieces to fit. If you can see right here where my hinges are. I think it makes it look a little more finished, and it covers up boo-boos if you have boo-boos here. Like up here I have some glue that I cannot seem to get to come off with a piece of eraser. I've tried and tried, so I'm going to cover it with my paper. Now, all of these were 3/4 inch hinges, so all of them except the first one, and it's going to, I highly suggest you measure your hinges yourself if you're going to do this, just to make sure, because it depends on where you had set your when we were adding the hinges into the book. It depends on where exactly you placed it down, and so the measurements might be a little bit off. In mine, I only have, like, this first one is a 1/2 inch instead of 5/8 of an inch. The rest of them come out to be 5/8 of an inch, if you can see here. So I'm going to cut this down to 7 7/8. Like I said, this is totally optional. I just started doing it recently, and it's definitely not necessary. I just like the way it gives it a finished look. So like I said, my first one, so it's going to be 7 7/8 because I measure from the top of the hinge mechanism to the bottom, and that comes out to be 7 7/8. Yeah, so actually I want to make it 7 3/4. That's what I'm going to do. 7 3/4. And then this first one is going to be a 1/2 inch. And then 1, 2, 3, 5/8 of an inch. 5/8. Some might call this extra, and I would have to agree with them. Some people are like, oh my god, I'm not cutting those little pieces, and that's fine. But like I said, I like that finished look it gives it. And it's only 4 cuts, so. There we go. And now this fits right there in that hinge, and it does not cover the it's far away enough. Oh, sorry, I can't talk. It's far enough away from the folds that it's not going to interfere. As long as you place it right there in the middle, it will not interfere. And see, it gives it that finished look. I like that. Did I already lose one of them? I don't know. Let's see. Like I said, I'm using the digital collection, and I must have printed this one on the back of a test paper, so that's always fun. There's that one. Make sure it doesn't interfere with the flips. Oh, there's the last one. Laying that down. Sorry, I'm not in frame. Here's my last one. But there we have it. That's how you can get that finished look. You just measure those. If anybody is interested and wants the link to either one of these rulers on Amazon, just let me know and I'll be happy to link it for you. Thank you for watching. There is our completed Valentine's Day embellishment book tutorial. We'll do one more flip through here real quick. So you have this flap that opens, just this plain page that you can add embellishments onto. Each page is a pocket page, so you can add goodies in there as well. Then you have a pocket here and a pocket here. And then you have a belly band on this page. You can see that. And then pages 5 and 6 are just plain pages where you can add embellishments. And your back inside cover has a tall pocket. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments and I'll get back with you. And that'll do it. Sorry for being so late, but I really appreciate you being patient. And thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.